Hi, today we look at the poem of Christina Aguilera, someone I had a crush on when I was growing up, and rightfully so. Let's see her hand. So basically, she has a very fulsome hand. You see the mounts, they are very developed. This shows that she is very passionate about what she does, but she can be over passionate. I have heard and read the reviews lately that she tends to oversing. I cannot comment on that because I don't listen to her that much. Like I used to listen to Genie in a Bottle and those type of songs, and I think Candyman. But lately, I haven't been listening to a lot of songs from her, so I can comment on that aspect. But the thing is that she can be a bit over passionate, so maybe it's relative because when the mounts are too strong, then the person is also what you say over passionate. Like she sang the national anthem, then she forgot the lyrics in the heat of the moment. So she's very passionate, but she can become a kind of a workaholic type of person. So that can impact health negatively. Like she was recording her album while pregnant and stuff. Again, I'm not saying it's because I'm not a doctor, I can't say if it's dangerous or not, but you see the level of commitment is very high. So maybe she sometimes needs to take a break. She is always changing herself. That can be actually a good thing for her as she's a Sagittarius person. And funny thing, I have actually noticed that she and Brittany both are Sagittarius people, but she has a much better hand. Maybe I'll do a comparison video later on, but her hand shows a lot of consistency, and it's a hand which doesn't rely on other people at all. In Britney Spears' case, she tends to rely on other people or used to rely on other people and fell into addiction, etc. Aguilera, even though the fame, she mirrored Britney Spears' fame, but she did not become addicted, etc. because she has a very refined hand. If you just look at the hand, it's very beautiful itself. The refinement is also shown by the Apollo mount. It's very strong and like what you say, it's mixed with the Mercury mount. So this shows, as I said, refinement. The Venus mount is also, if you see the Venus mount is strong, but it is not too strong, which again means that the person has control over their addictions. Even people with these fulsome type mount hands, they can become addicted to substances, but the refinement is all which separates her from another person who acts out, becomes a bit psychotic, like shaves their head, etc. Again, there was family pressure involved there, so I'm not commenting on that. But if we compare them both, she has a very good track record in terms of her consistent personality. We also see excellent things. We see the fingers are arranged on a balanced scale, showing that from a very young age, these type of people, they tend to get success very early because they know what they want, they get the opportunities, and they they don't hesitate. Even though her headline and lifeline are a tad separate, a tad joined at the start, which shows a bit of introversion in early years, especially as her parents separated and her dad was abusive. So that leads to a bit of hesitance. But we see that the hand is so strong that it didn't matter to her. Eventually, she, even though she thought of reconciling with her dad later on. Now, if we look at the fingers themselves, they are on the, like I would say, short to normal side. We will also see that her fingers, they are very unique. First of all, we notice that they're very well balanced, and then we also notice that they are on the short side, meaning that the Saturn finger is short because these fingers are reaching very close to it. Now what this means is that the person is rebellious, the person does not like the conventional things. That's why she is very unconventional. She's always experimenting. So but she is also very smart. I'll tell you why. Because if you see, Mercury mount is very strong. The Mercury finger is over long. It's the Mercury finger is over long, plus it has an independence of action because the fourth finger and third finger have a space between them. But why am I saying she is very smart? Because first of all, she went and got cast as a competitor to Britney, and she succeeded there. She could have been like, oh no, I'll do what I want, but of course, Genie in a Bottle, these kind of songs, they were very poppy because she was listening to the producers. She knew that to establish myself, I have to gain fame and money equivalent to Britney. So she did this. Like many people would be like, oh no, she had to do this. No, it's her choice. If she wanted, she could just record an album which was non-commercial. But she did, first she established herself as a commercial artist, and then as a non-commercial artist who still sold millions and millions of albums. So the talent is there. The not only the talent, see, many people have talent, but how to market that talent, how to what you say, capitalize on that talent. That is shown by the Mercury finger being exceptionally long, the fingers being well balanced, meaning she's well balanced. There's no imbalance of personality. She's as extrovert as a person needs to be. She's as introverted as a person needs to be. As social as a person needs to be. As hardworking, sometimes over hardworking as a person needs to be. As friendly as a person needs to be. So she's a very well composed and well balanced personality, which is kind of rare nowadays, and that also explains why she has been consistent, because people who start as Disney stars, not all of them, but as child performers, they tend to have, because they get so much fame. I think at 18 herself she became famous for Genie in the Bottle, so they get so much fame at that age when we normal people are growing up. So we cannot even imagine that, even though they're getting the money, fame, they're not experiencing a normal teenage or adolescence, etc. So it takes a very strong hand to go through that. We also see that her heartline is not close to the finger, then it's mostly straight, a bit going upwards. But the thing is that this shows that she is a very private person, and she doesn't like her family to be in the limelight. And then we also see that the headline is very excellent. It's going downwards, but not too downwards. It's actually going on the secondary Mount Moon, which the secondary Mount Moon, it means the financial gains from creativity. This is also shown from the fingers. If you look at the second phalanges, excellently developed. This shows that in her heart of hearts, she's a very money making type of woman. She's not, I would say she's fully materialistic, because for that other things we have to see. She does love the good life. She loves to have a fancy car, fancy house, etc., and fancy clothes. That's something maybe her main, like I would say, first is passion, but second is living the good life. See, becoming rich and living the good life are separate things. Some, even if they become rich, they tend to be misers and save all the money, in order to become rich. Some people, they like the lifestyle to come first. So even if they overspend their salary, in case of a normal person, they cannot let go of their lifestyle, and that's why they aim for jobs which have very nice fringe benefits. And then we look at the sun line, which is like originating from the wrist and going all the way. This could also be a fate line, but I think it's a sun line because it's going like this. So anyway, whatever it is, we have to notice that in the case that most probably it's a sun line, because there's also a line going here. So if it's a sun line here and a fate line here, we'll just take the case of being a sun line, because it's very possible. Because if we see, she achieved monumental fame at a very young age, but her aim was that, because if you see, she used to, I think she covered Whitney Houston songs, and she even auditioned. She didn't give up. See, she auditioned because she wasn't the right age, or there were other reasons, but there were many impediments. Her family, her dad being abusive, she getting rejected from Disney, the Mickey Mouse Club earlier due to her age, and then I think becoming a runner-up in the contest. But then managing to sing that cover of Whitney Houston song on radio. So you see, she doesn't give up, and this is why the mounts are very important. If she didn't have such strong mounts, she wouldn't be where she is today. I have to say that, even though usually I don't say things like that, but the mounts are so strong, they are standing out. And she also has a good Venus mount. It's not too developed. We would notice that her Mars is excellently developed, especially her lower Mars. So this shows that she has a message, and that is why I'm telling that this woman is not a normal pop singer who does it for money. She, from her get-go, especially due to her negative experiences with her dad at early age, she has a mission. She has a mission to inform, to educate. So in a way, I also see some sort of social activism, even though it's not of the traditional kind, because the Saturn finger is not that long, which shows a very rebellious outlook. And this woman, I think she is, but she could be a good feminist role model, because she is very, she's not idealistic, because the heartline is starting from Saturn, but she's someone who has a message. That's why they develop Mars bound, because Mars people, they always excel in activism and standing up for the underdog. If we look at her personal life as well, she, first she married a marketing executive, then she got engaged to someone who was an assistant on the set of Burlesque, one of her movies. So you see that for her, she's not fully materialistic. If she was, she would have married someone even richer. But and we also see her personal life is much better than Britney's, because Britney's personal life, the thing is, Britney's hand is imbalanced, and her hand, I'm just comparing because they're so contemporary with each other. So if we see, she's very non-materialistic, especially when it comes to the personal life, and she does not like her children to be in the limelight, her husband to be in the limelight. And even though that's funny, because she's very expressive. If we notice the little finger, we notice the distance between the little finger and third finger, and the overall hand, we see that it's very expressive. But inside, she's a very private person, and that's inside she's a very conservative person, especially when her immediate family is concerned. So I see only success ahead. Maybe what you say, maybe not at the level, because she has reached such a high level that it would be hard for her to mimic that success which she initially achieved. That's why we don't see a strong, as strong sunline, etc., as strong as it was at the beginning. You see, it's very strong here, very strong. Because the thing is, and it's not continuing, because the thing is, she has got so much success, she doesn't need to repeat that success. And like we see her, like I think she was in Moves Like Jagger, which was also a very hit song. So she succeeded as a featured artist. So I'm just saying that like she doesn't need to get the success, but it will be consistent. She also worked as a good judge. I'm not sure if she was good, but she worked as a judge in the Voice. Yeah, so we see that. So she will be trying different things, because she has the freedom right now. We see no fate line and sunline continuing, or not a strong sunline and fate line continuing, because she has the freedom to do what she wants now. Excellent hand, just that the rebellious attitude could get her in, like sometimes she could be too rebellious for her own good, could get her in trouble. Maybe some opinions which are too overzealous, and I would also say a bit of workaholism is there, which might impact her health, even though her lifeline is good. But overall, as long as she keeps experimenting, she will be happy, and as long as her family is kept out of the limelight, she will also be very happy. A very good hand, excellent hand. Thank you so much for watching.